'cause I know that it's something real. Gonna say how I feel, 'cause I know that it's something real. Hey, hey. Gonna say how I feel, 'cause I know that it's something real. Gonna say
Good evening, everyone. How are you guys? Oh, Angie, you did an amazing job on Artapalooza. Janice, you did too. Oh my gosh, the two of you. Wow, knocking it out of the park. Hi, Deirdre. How are you? I hope you're having a better day today than you were yesterday. It has been a day. So, Janice is here. Oh, there's Nathan. Good morning, Nathan. How are you this fine morning in the future? How is the future? Is it good? I bet it is. I bet it is. Deirdre's here. She's back there. Oh my goodness. So Janice is here and Deirdre and Angie. He's saying hi to Angie. Nathan's just saying hi to everybody. Deirdre, Nathan, yay, everybody's. This is great. Woohoo, story time. Yes. So today has been one of those really super low energy days. I did not, if I'm not very loud, where's my sound effect? Somehow I feel like I'm not sounding. Let's see. Oops. That could have been input. Oh, that's right. Oh, see? So, I had physical therapy like super early this morning. It was at 8 o'clock this morning, which, okay, maybe not super early, but it meant I had to leave the house at 7:15, which meant in order to get my coffee in me, I had to get up early. And it was not what my body wanted to do today. And physical therapy was tough. And I was just kind of out of sync throughout the whole day. Bob was too, and everything. And what was really interesting was that he was going to come down here to the studio and watch the soccer game because I was looked like I was comfortable, and I really wasn't comfortable upstairs. I wanted to come down here. I'm like, no, I want to go downstairs. He's like, okay. And I came down here to get ready to watch Artapalooza, and I started on my computer to empty the trash. And seriously, I thought, oh, well, I'll just empty the trash in it because I need to move some things around, and then I'll be able to get some other stuff done while I'm watching Artapalooza. It was still emptying trash for it might still be in the background. I have no idea. I put it on thing. I had no... My backup was backing up things that it did not need to back up, and it was backing up a 4 terabyte hard drive. I was wondering why my 8 terabyte hard drive was getting so full so fast. And it was backing up my 4 terabyte external hard drive on top of my entire computer. Tech woes. Sorry about that. You guys didn't need to hear that. But it was there. But I'm better now. Oh, and I just lost my microphone. You guys probably couldn't hear hardly anything there. I'm just yammering away. Hi, Donna M. How are you? Good to have you here. So if I was yammering and my microphone was in my lap, it was meant because you didn't need to hear all that yammering. So, more for now. Listening while you chew. I just had a snack and I have a beverage. Yes. good. The future is pretty good, he says. There, yeah. So Angie and Janice were on Artapalooza, and that was really fun to watch. Deirdre, are you still stuck in the really cold back there? I think it's that way. It was cold. I mean, this morning it wasn't too bad. Nothing compared to what you guys are having. But Joanne's here. Hey, nice. Yes. And Angie, it's good to have everybody here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys just do some amazing, amazing things. Tonight, the story, and tonight and tomorrow night, I'm going to share a story. I've done another story by this author, Nancy Luenn. She's from Redmond, or here near in the Northwest. She was, what did I read of hers? I'm looking back in my log. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Oh, maybe it was Winter's Child. Might have been. No, that was... Let me look in the book to tell you. But it doesn't tell me right there. I know I read another one of her books. Anyway, she's done a lot of really cool local native legends and whatnot. And this one is set in Alaska. It's called Nessa's Fish, and I wanted to read it. And then afterwards, I'm going to tell you about the illustrator, Neil Waldman. Whoa. I did a little research on this guy, and I'll show you his website afterwards because, whoa. So the story is beautiful, but watch the illustrations on how he did this. He's quite something in what he's done. Hi, Gloria. There's Gloria. There are you. And everybody's here. Yay. It's so good to have everybody here. So Joanne's here, Gloria's here, Angie, and Janice, and Donna M, and Nathan, and Deirdre. Oh, and a troll. Goodbye. Got rid of him. Ban you. Ban. Goodbye. Oh, they're a tough one to ban. Ban. Oh, well. I'll ignore them. 19 overnight. So this is what's... Bob is upstairs watching the soccer game. So it's the first round of World Cup soccer. Yes, we are big soccer fans. My youngest daughter, when she was 16, actually played soccer in Italy and was very, very good soccer player. And so soccer fans, big time. So the Sounders are playing Honduras. They're playing in St. Paul and Minnesota, and it is 12 degrees below zero, I think. I don't think the guys from Honduras are quite used to playing in that weather. And the Sounders, Seattle, they're used to rain and it gets cold, although not 12 below or that cold. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So this is the first round of the World Cup. So if you hear yelling and hooping from upstairs, it's my husband letting me know how the Sounders are doing. Oh, all right. I'm glad that you're here. Angie said you needed this tonight. She needed it tonight. Oh, you got I'm sorry, squirrel. I needed this tonight too. I needed the influx of energy that you guys give to me when I do this, and just the focus it brings to me. It's really interesting how it just kind of pulls things together. So yay. So she said she ordered Yvonne Palka's Dragon book on Amazon. That's so cool. That's the gal who we did that other book. Oh my gosh. Yay. Oh, you took care of the troll before me. Good for you. You want to hear Bob whoop? He does. Did you have a cousin who played Olympic soccer last year in Italy? Bryn, when she played, she was 16, and she, a local coach here who had been on the Sounders and had been on the Olympic trial team before he was injured, took a group of 14, 16-year-old girls to Italy to play, and he was their coach, and he selected these girls, and she got to play against actually girls who ended up years later playing in the Olympics, and Bryn's team beat them. So they played in Germany and they played in Italy, and they had a great time, and it was one of those things. But soccer has always been kind of a fun thing that we really enjoy, and except when you go to a soccer game, you have to stand up through the whole thing, and the only time you sit down is during halftime. So 45-minute halves, and you stand up the whole time. It can be kind of crazy. Football, yes. Football, yes. So says Nathan. What are you talking about? I'm talking about football, Nathan. I'm not, although there's rugby too. My nephew plays rugby, and that's kind of fun. Oh, way to whack-a-mole. Oh, good job. That's funny. Okay, so the name of tonight's book is called Nessa's Fish, and I want to show you the cover. Oops, where's the book? There it is. Oh my gosh, Gretchen. You didn't line up your... Oh, there, that could help. Lord Almighty. There we go. Here we go. Okay, put my keyboard over there. So Nancy Luenn, let me pull up what she's up to right now, just to remind her a little bit about who she is and what she's doing these days. So if we go over here to see her out, she creates quilts and mixed media paintings using applique techniques and fabric collage. And her work is embellished with embroidery, colored pencils, paints. That's her artwork. She's exhibited all around here in the Northwest. That's some of her artwork. But her books, Mother Earth, Nessa's Fish, this second one down here is what I'm going to read tonight. Squish, which is a wetland walk, which is a book that we often used for curriculum in when we would study the wetlands that we have out here for kids. It was such a good book. Otter Play. She has some other ones too, a whole bunch of the list here. Dragon Kite, Gift for Abuelita, Miser. Oh, Miser on the Mountain, the one about Mount Rainier. That's the one I read to you. That was by Nancy Luenn. Mother Earth, Nessa's Fish, Nessa's Story, Otter Play, Song for the Ancient Forest, which is coming up, and Squish and the Ugly Princess, which is a great book. So we're reading Nessa's Fish tonight. Yay. It's a really, I don't know what kind of connections you guys have had with your grandparents or grandmothers. Half of the decorations in my house right now currently are from my grandmother. I have Grandma's corner hutch. I have Grandma's china cabinet, and it's in the grandkids' room full of all kinds of wonderful things. I have Grandma's rocker sitting. Grandma's rocker just sits over there, right here in my studio, and the first time, I have memories back to when I was very young, sitting on her lap in that same rocking chair. That rocking chair has been. My grandmother died. My mom's mom died when in my freshman year in college. So that was in the December of 1974, and then so that rocking chair then went into my room at my parents' house, and then it came with me everywhere. It spent many years in my classroom at school, and it was one of the stations that the kids could sit in at certain times when we did choice time or station time. Grandma's rocker was one of the places that they could sign up to sit in and read books. So my grandma, and there's just so many things around here that are reference to her. She was a big part of my life. And my other grandmother, my dad's mom, Grandma Walker, she was a little bit less lovey, but she was the one who gave me a camera, though. And she was a widow from the time that my dad was about 5. So she was pretty stiff in a lot of ways, but in other ways, she was a hoot. But she gave me my first camera. It was hers, and it's sitting right back there, right up there. So in front of that picture that I took of the house I grew up in. So grandmothers had a big impact on my life. And the relationship that you oftentimes have, I think, with a grandparent, it's and that elder is the person that you look to and that you look toward for guidance and for learning and for those stories and the things that you hear, but you also admire what they've done. And I mean, my grandfather, Grandpa used to sit me up on his workbench and let me help him pack shotgun shells when I was like 5, because he was a hunter and he would let me pack. And I mean, here's a little kid packing in the, pouring in the shot and then packing in the gunpowder. And my mom would just like completely freaked out. And he taught me to whittle and all kinds of things, those type of things that they do. Your grandmas and grandpa on your mom's side, Janice says she was really close to him. Yeah. I mean, I talk to my grandmother all the time. The furniture, it is that you said the craftsmanship. Grandma had, in fact, I just got her dining room table. It had been through the family, and one niece had it, and she decided she didn't want it anymore. She's this and that, and they'd redone it. So I got it. It fits here in our little house. So I have basically all of that. And then I also have Grandma's sewing machine, which is kind of I can still remember sitting next to her when she'd set it up on the dining room table. And so it's so very cool. Yeah, the craftsmanship is pretty amazing. I was truly blessed to have those grandparents. You have your great grandma's porch rocker that great grandpa made. Oh my gosh, yeah, the things that we have. My dad. I'm looking straight ahead at 2 bookcases that my dad built for us in a house that we had a while back, and he made them to fit, and now they fit in this house perfectly. But he also, all of his grandchildren have a hope chest that he made for them. And they were beautiful. And then my niece actually has a full bedroom set that my dad made for her, a bed and dresser and all this stuff. It was pretty amazing. So it was Dad always called himself a barnyard carpenter. It's pretty fun. So grandparents hold a significant part. And tables for cameo collection. Yes, that's the other thing. I don't have a cameo collection, but I have her friendship cups, which the teacups that the grandpa would bring back to her. And then when we would go to have tea at Mrs. Bungee's or at Gila's, she would take a cup to trade with her friends as a friendship cup and bring a different one back. It was very cool. So it looks like, and Joanne made them too, shotgun shells. It looks like we had that really Yay! Yes, just such a fun experience, you know. And now, kids just don't get to do that kind of stuff these days. It's like, seriously, I'm having some fun. So what? Yeah. Um, uh, yeah. Oh, my grandma would have been 111 today. Her birth. That would be cool. Yes. Wow. Anyway, it sounds like a lot of you had that experience with that. And in this today's story, where we've had that experience of the things that we learned from our grandparents and stuff, and they were kind of the guiding and the one we look to and turn to. In this story, that relationship has to take a twist. And so I'm excited to share it with you. And so, oh my gosh, yeah. I'm sorry about that, losing it in a fire. I have a friend who lost her home and everything in a fire when her kids were young, and she doesn't have any of those memories. And it was always, and she's a medium also, Gloria. So it's interesting how she makes the connection in other ways rather than those objects that she had, like you probably do. Anyway, so tonight's story is called Nessa's Fish by Nancy Luenn, illustrated by Neil Waldman. And I'll tell you about him afterwards because he's just kind of amazing. To Annalena and Bryn, be of good courage. Nancy Luenn, 1990 is when I got this book. I'll show you the close-up on that illustration. So when you see the illustrations in the book tonight, you're going to see that the insertion of the words into the story are done in a little different way than a standard, like underneath the picture. It's a real interesting way that it's put in. I'll show you. See how there's that edge piece over here and then the main picture here. So it tends to transcend and go from page to page, and it goes off. Let me take it down just a little bit. So if you see the whole page, you'll see that it goes off outside the frame and comes in, and it extends the story from page to page. It makes a really interesting transition. Nessa's Fish by Nancy Luenn. At autumn camp, Nessa and her grandmother walked inland half a day to fish in the stony lake. They jiggered for fish all afternoon and evening. They caught more than they could carry home. They caught enough to feed everyone in camp. Nessa and her grandmother stacked up the fish. They piled stones over them to keep them away the foxes. Then, tired out, they fell asleep. During the night, her grandmother was very sick from something that she had eaten. Morning came and she needed to rest until she felt better. Nessa watched over her grandmother. She brought her fresh water from the stony lake. She sat beside her while the sun rose slowly in the sky. At noon, a fox came and sniffed at the stones that covered the fish. "Go away!" Her grandmother's voice was only a whisper. The fox didn't listen. Nessa flapped her arms and shouted, "Go away!" The fox dashed off across the tundra. The sun rolled a little lower in the sky. A pack of wolves loped toward them and grinned at the stones that covered the fish. "Do wolves eat fish?" asked Nessa, but her grandmother was asleep. Nessa thought she knew what to do. Her grandfather had had told her how to talk to wolves. She made herself as tall as she could. She made her hands into ears, tipped them forward, and stared straight into the lead wolf's yellow eyes. "Go away," she growled. "These are our fish." And the wolf lowered his tail and grinned apologies at Nessa. He led his pack away across the tundra. The sun sank behind the hills. Shadows reached across the land. Out of the shadows came a huge brown bear. Nessa shivered. Bears ate almost anything. She wanted to run, but her mother had told her to never run from bears. She waved her fishing pole at the bear and shouted, "Go away!" The bear stood on its hind legs and stared. Nessa looked at its long, sharp claws. Would it eat all the fish? Would it eat her grandmother? Would it eat her too? She tried to remember how to talk to bears. Her father had told her that a bear would go away if you made it feel foolish. Nessa began to sing. "Skinny old bear, fur falling out, big ugly paws and a long pointy snout." The bear looked surprised. It took one step backward, then another, and Nessa sang again. "Skinny old bear, foolish thing, you can't sing, you can't sing." And the bear's long face did look foolish. It couldn't sing. It turned around and shuffled across the tundra. Nessa was very tired. Her grandmother was sleeping. She tried to stay awake, for she had to watch over her, but no one had told her how to make sleep go away. The moon rose over the tundra. It shone down on Nessa, fast asleep, curled up beside her grandmother. It shone on the stones that covered the fish. The moon watched over them, all until a noise woke Nessa. She grabbed her fishing pole and sat up very tall. Was it the fox? Was it the wolves? Was it the bear? It was her grandfather. With him were her mother and father and all the dogs. They had come to look for Nessa and her grandmother. Everyone hugged her. The dogs wagged their tail. Her grandmother woke up and smiled. Nessa felt good. She had watched over her grandmother, and she had guarded the fish that would feed everyone in camp. When morning came again, her grandmother felt better. They put the fish in skin bags for the dogs to carry. Then they all walked homeward, half a day, to autumn camp. And that's the story of Nessa's fish. She took care of her grandmother. Oh, you had a foxtail hanging off the back. That is cool. Oh my goodness, Nathan, I'm sorry. That's so. The wonderful thing about this, with this story, is the things that she remembered, the stories from her grandfather and from her grandmother, and her father telling her how to talk to a bear or how to talk to wolves, and the things she did, and that a bear would feel foolish. Having been close to Alaska brown bears, they probably would look at me pretty weird if I was singing to them. They would most likely just shake their head and go off on their way. They really don't are not bothered too much by the people around you. As long as they can get to the fish that they want to eat, they're not going to bother you too much. But I love this about this book. And the illustrations are just so, like, there's that one. And this one with the bear. So what it says in the back about Neil Waldman, it says he was born in New York City and graduated from Rochester Institute of Technology. He has been working as an illustrator for many years for magazines and in advertising. He is a designer of postage stamps as well. And over the past 6 years, he has designed and illustrated stamps for 10 different countries. Now, this was back in 1990 when I got this. Although Neil Waldman is also known for his dramatic book jacket and record cover illustration, it is only recently that he's begun to illustrate children's picture books. He and his wife and 2 children live in White Plains, New York. Now, that was written some time ago. So I decided to look him up. Oh my goodness. Let me go over here and pull up his website. Neil Waldman, biography, books, paintings, galleries, school visits. His biography, he's been written up in the New York Times, are included in his paintings and prints are included in many prestigious collections around the world. His oils, acrylics, and watercolors may be seen in the Capitol buildings of more than a dozen nations and in numerous major corporations. His works have garnered many awards and honors. Notable among these is a gold medal from the United Nations in a closed international competition in which Waldman was chosen to represent the United States. The world body selected his entry as the official poster for the International Year of Peace. Today, it hangs in the halls of the UN General Assembly. He was commissioned by the American Brands Corporation to paint portraits of 20 famous Americans for their centennial exhibition, The American Achievers. It traveled all to exhibitions, and he eventually published in a book of the same name. He's designed postage stamps, written and illustrated more than 50 books for young people, and won the Christopher Award, the National Jewish Book Award, the Parents' Choice Award, the American Library Association Notable Award, and a host of others. And in addition, he's illustrated the covers of 7 Newbery Award winners. Now, the Newbery is the chapter book equivalent to the Caldecott. The Caldecott picture is the Caldecott Award is the national award for the best children's picture book produced in a year. The Newbery Award is the best young people's chapter book that comes out. And it's a huge competition because there are tens of thousands of books that are published each year. To win the Newbery is a huge honor. My friend Kirby Larson that lives in Bothell won a Newbery for her book Duke, which was about a service dog. And but Kirby's been writing for ages, but he's illustrated the covers of 7 Newbery Award winners. And he created, this is pretty cool. In 2006, he created the Fred Dolan Art Academy in the Bronx, along with his longtime friend, Mark Broxmeyer. And the Academy's purpose is to provide motivated Bronx teenagers with the skills necessary for developing portfolios for entry into art college. Oh, if you'd like to view a 5-minute video about the program, click the title below. So it's Dream School. But his books, look at this. And this book I've seen, The Starry Night, is the book that he wrote on Vincent van Gogh. All of these Dream Makers, that's just a small section of his books. His paintings, that has some of the new work, some of the older work listed on his website. The galleries, though, wait till okay, that fills up. His early work, new work. Beautiful, beautiful things that he's done. I mean, so amazing. But the galleries, I clicked on this, and the list of galleries where his works are: the Artist Alley Gallery in San Francisco, Richard Michelson Gallery in Massachusetts, the Juxtaposed Gallery in Westfield, New Jersey, and the Flatiron Gallery in Peekskill, New York. But exhibitions and collections, I looked at this. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this list. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, holy Ned. I was like, oh my goodness. There's private collections in different countries, in the United Nations, in the government of Ghana, government of the Marshall Islands, government of Sierra Leone, the government of Palau, the government of Antigua, the government of Turks and Caicos, of Guyana. Then, of course, he's done things for brands like American Airlines and Time Life and Texaco and Sony and NBC. Good grief. Oh, my goodness. From picture book, from picture book, you know, this to that kind of, I'm just, wow. And to design postage stamps. That's just so amazing. I mean, my friend Art Wolf, that's my mentor, the photographer, has had one of his pieces selected for a postage stamp, for a U.S. postage stamp. And that has happened. But to design them for 10 different countries, wow. That's pretty amazing. So let's just check up here. It is a nice story. I think it's just, oh, Monica, hi. Oh, you guys, my friend Monica. So after Fluid Artists and all my friends here, meet my friend Monica, Monica today. Monica, you and Gloria have a thing in common. You're both mediums. Gloria's on here. So after I got off last night's story, I hopped on to my Tuesday night, our group I have with Monica that we've been, 2 years now, Monica? Yeah, I've known Monica for years. In fact, she is the first person who introduced me to kind of fluid art. We were at, this was probably 5 years ago, Monica? Tell me if I'm wrong, but that we were up at your studio up at the Arlington Airport. And it was that summer we got those trays and we did that stuff out in the back, because I know my grandkids had that tray that they use. I think it was like 5-6 years ago that we did that. Could it be that long? It could be. Oh my gosh. Yay. Yes. Oh, look at Monica. Everybody's saying hi. Gloria's saying hi. Nathan is saying hi from the future. Nathan is in Australia. Oh, Angie, you're welcome. Donna's saying hi from down in Hollywood, California. My bike as a kid is in my basement, so it's an antique. Does that make me an antique? Joanne, if you're an antique, what am I? Seriously, girl? No. And there's Angie saying hi. Yes. There's one. Yes. You're too funny. It was a good story. I know. And it's just another beautiful one by Northwest Authors. And so I just am having a good time sharing some of these. Look at you, Joanne. Wow, lucky. Yay. Hi, Angie. Look at that. Everybody, Gloria, just barely. You and I are both up there in that approaching antiqueness, but not really. We're fine wine, girl. Fine wine. That's what we are. Yes. Gloria and I are fine wine. Yes. Oh my. Okay, Monica, yes, these guys are absolutely amazing. appreciation that all these people that are on here with me are amazing artists in and of themselves. Angie and Janice were on Artapalooza earlier. Nathan had his second, The Fine Art of Distraction is his channel. And he did a thing at Donna does one every Tuesday morning at 9:30. Dee, I can't remember, Deidre, when your videos go out. And Joanne does hers. Oh my gosh. And Gloria does on Facebook, she does tarot readings on certain times. And she has, Gloria, put in the name of your Facebook channel, if you would, please. I get mixed up. I get lost there. Oh, yes. Yes. Magical art. He does have magical art. It's one of those people that, I mean, you guys could put in your little list of, who do I look to for inspiration and some ideas, because his work seems to be pretty vast, and it's just and multicultural, which is, I think, pretty cool. And he uses a fair number of mediums, but we've experienced a lot of amazing artists, and to find somebody that could take that story and do what they did with expanding it off the sides of the book and off the edges so that it traveled, that you felt like you were staying in the same place, but the vastness, it added to that vast expanse of that area, that in the tundra, it just, oh, thank you, Monica. A warm cup of cocoa. Yeah, well, mine's not cocoa tonight. Angie probably has a Riesling. Yeah, that is amazing. So, oh, that's right, you're a reader. And nice to meet you. Oh, wow, time flies. Yes, one of many funny projects. Oh, your third, Monica, third reference in a day, Monica. You've done some mediumship, but I'm not a medium. A little intuitive. Gloria, girl, give yourself, you more credit than that, because you are amazing. And you're an amazing Reiki healer, too. You've sent me energy healing so many times. It's beyond vintage. That's good. Fine wine. Yeah, baby, they're in our circle. You bet. Oh, Dee, you're getting there. We're going to keep sending you energy and to strengthen, and you're going to get back at it. Helen, hi. Helen. So, Helen, my friend Monica is on, and she, you guys are not that far. She's up in Arlington. You're on Whidbey, and I'm down here, so not too far apart. Oh, are you okay, Angie? Don't be choking. Don't be choking. That freaks me out. Good to see you. Aloha, Helen. Yes. Yep, we're all okay. See, Angie, you freak us all out. Don't do that. I have rum. Nathan, isn't it morning? Oh well, a little rum in the morning and your coffee is probably good. Ease those muscles. Ease that irritation and whatnot. Yes. Yeah, I think so. Aloha. All right. Really? Oh my gosh. Cool. Monica wants to do that. You know, that would be cool, Monica. Very cool to do a roundtable like that. Monica has used to do a podcast years ago and has spent some times and stuff. And she is an amazing singer also. And she and Matt just got married on New Year's, and it was amazing. They did an online wedding, and I missed the whole thing, but I went back and watched it afterwards because I was with the grandkids, but just pretty cool. And that's wonderful. Okay. So with this story, I think just one of the things that it made me, again, the stories that are coming to me to read that I'm led to are about that connection and how this little girl took the stories she'd heard and the lessons she'd heard from her grandparents and the things and turned them around and actually did use them. And the connection, and that kind of role reversal, but still it was that connection that she had through all of those things. And I think that that is what this story and all of us have, is that even though we're from so many different places and we do so many different things, what we learn from each other, we never really know when that thread is going to come through at an important time for us. And for me, that thread is what I tug on when I've had a rough day and I have no energy, and I can tug on it and say, hold it, there's a group out there that I can go to and lift myself up and find a way to see what it is that I need and what I can give. And that's what this story time is all about. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. And thank you for welcoming my friend Monica. Monica, I'm so glad you got to meet my other friends from around everywhere. And until tomorrow, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight, you guys. It's all around. It's up, down, around. But the first place you're going to go look is in the mirror, because it's going to be looking right back at you. I'll see you soon.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous, we could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless.